Fighting!
It's basically a reply like those girls used to do before YouTube was like, nah, none of that.
Nothing against this dude. We don't know him. I've seen like 2 videos of his, not particularly in my type of channel, but nothing against him. We may call him a bum or an idiot or whatever. That's just the way we are.
This library, this is so pretentious.
Yeah, and I also don't like the words popping up. I feel like that's going to be a motif where he's going to be like, Giorno is not boring, and then boring is going to flash on the screen.
Or just in red letters or
yes.
Gold letters.
Oh, dude, I can see this already.
Thematic and narrative goals and achieves those goals both elegantly, passionately, and convincingly. While I obviously look out for things like depth, consistency, meaning, etc., the core of what I really want out of a story is for it to have a purpose and fulfill that purpose as well as it can. And when a story does that with such skill, passion, and confidence that I'm willing to overlook the minor issues every story will naturally have, that's when it becomes perfect for me. Today, I would like to discuss one.
So is good things outweigh the bad things to the point that you don't notice the bad things? That's what make it perfect for you.
I think it's more of like the good things are so good that those minor bad things can be overlooked.
But what if they're major bad things?
They shouldn't be overlooked. But he's thinking that the problems of JoJo Part 5, just from, you know, what I'm getting so far, the problems of JoJo's Part 5 are so small that they don't, they're outweighed by all the greatness that was in it.
How many times do you think he's going to say theme in this?
Theme or thematic? This is an hour 14. 42.
It's gonna be a lot.
Sit down, lay back, grab a snack, and listen as I tell you about the Brilliant.
Okay, I gotta pause. He just messed up on some editing.
Yeah.
So what happened was he had the black box over the TV on a long shot, and it was a frame or two where the black box was still in that frame as opposed to the
and you can see right here is sort of like
you can see some edges
a little bit, and he's like, you could have cleaned that up a little bit more, homie.
He seems like a popular YouTuber. This is some this is some basic editing stuff. Again, it's hard to do it with just one guy, and you're making a whole edited video. I'm sure there are times where you're gonna cut corners and just be like, it's good enough.
Yeah, only bums are gonna notice this.
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever, it's good enough. And then the people who are gonna be like, yo, he put the words in the TV. They're not gonna notice this little thing or that frame or two. They're gonna be like, yo, look at this edited. So, you know, whatever.
Whatever.
Araki does pour a lot of his fascination and fondness for the country's history and culture into the setting of Part 5.
Oh, you were correct.
Told you.
Go play Assassin's Creed. Who gives a
8 Mile and It Follows It. They're set in Detroit, and I'm like, yo, Detroit. I was like, whatever. Except for Detroit Become Human, because that was just a genuine shock.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just like
when they're showing the Woodward bus, that's
and
shocking.
We live here. Why should I care about Italy? I don't give a crap. We're just like, hey, it's Napoli.
It looks just like it. I
don't care. Right. Show me the Woodward bus. I'm like, yo. Show me the Renaissance building. I'm like, yo. But that's about where it goes. I don't have any like deep cultural appreciation for it, and I live in Detroit.
Tiny detail like the taxistas scamming tourists. The story is filled with these little.
Pause. Taxis scam tourists all the time.
Absolutely.
That's the whole point of cabbies when it comes to tourism. New York is infamous for it. Yeah. You got a story of getting scammed by a cabbie.
Oh boy.
In Texas, I think it was.
It's not unique to Italy.
Yeah, I don't know.
You could have picked 2 better things.
No. The,
big and then little, yeah.
But that's not a tiny detail, because that's a detail that is infamous around the world. If you're a tourist, you are a scam trap.
Like every part of their journey touches a real location. This is for
all of JoJo's touches real locations.
Well, Morio was made up.
Okay.
Other than that, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 7's all about America going through it.
Yeah, I don't understand that point.
He's just glamorizing this stuff.
Helps contextualize some of the thematic ideas of the part.
Themes, thematic,
human culture.
This in Theme of Fate.
Garbage.
Screw you.
It's gonna be here, and it's prevalent. Because all you got to do is go, here is the theme, and you can mold anything around that.
Yeah.
You can make any story make sense to you and it instantly be good because you go, oh, everything around this dealt with the themes. It was all consistent. The theme is good. It's good.
The theme is about redemption. The theme is about failure. The theme is about revolution. You can fit whatever you want if you just...
If you think about it hard enough, you can mush anything into anything. The way you saw White Album, ego's resolved, blah, blah, blah. Mista shoots him and goes, my resolve is such that I'm going to take these bullets just for a way to kill you. But in the end, he takes a bullet to the head and it means nothing.
Nothing. Thanks to Gio.
So how did he rise above that? He took the bullets, but when it came down to it, it didn't matter because he was just saved. Jolene sets herself on fire and just like, bring it on. And she is on fire. You can't reverse on fire. But as soon as he gets shot in the head, it's already reversed. So it means nothing.
We see that Vento Aureo is essentially a story about the resolve to oppose fate. At its heart, Golden Wind is a story.
Pause. Isn't that all the JoJo stories technically? Because the fate would be, part one. Oh, I'm destined to be the leader of the world. And part two, and part three, and part four. Just I'm destined to beat you guys, and over and over and over again.
But none of them looks at the camera and goes, "Fate, resolve." Except for part 5. So that's why people lean strongly to that more than the other ones.
But you should have some hints of subtlety, like or subtext.
No, how about just having the dudes have a speech about resolve, and how about having the main villain be about fate has chosen me? There you go. There's your 2 themes.
And while that can be said about other JoJo parts as well, in this story, the idea at the foreground is to overcome whatever holds you back and steel your resolve to achieve a dream you know is righteous and born out of truth.
Can you pause? That's One Piece as well. That's basically any story where there's an opposition.
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
Speaking of which, what's the theme of One Piece? Have you ever thought about the word theme and One Piece?
You know what? I haven't actually.
What is it? Freedom?
It's gotta be freedom.
Okay. That's the first time we're ever discussing this.
Because most of the stories are about them liberating an island. And Luffy wants to be the most free. So I gotta assume freedom.
But then it breaks apart when you go, Zoro, he wants to be the strongest.
Yeah.
Because he made a promise, not because of freedom or anything. He's not trying to free the world from the tyranny of Mihawk.
Yeah, he's actually kind of chained into his... He can't be nothing.
He has one path.
He can't do nothing but be the strongest.
What if Mihawk has a heart attack?
There are 2 central pillars that hold it together. Giorno and Diavolo.
How when Bruno is the actual JoJo?
He's so much better. He's so much better. Giorno is just so passive.
He is not the pillar holding it together.
He just shows up and then within a week he's the boss. Bruno's been there for years just slowly building himself up. He gained the trust of Popo enough that he gave him his riches and that allowed him to move up. This dude just shows up and within a week month is kissing his ring.
Quite often in fiction, villains will be incredibly proactive, usually being the catalyzing force for the story to happen. For example, both Dio Brando and Funny Valentine act according to their ambitions to change something about the environment they find themselves in, and thus...
Dio was just like, I want to kill these people, so I'm going to send people to kill these people. He was not proactive, just like Diavolo. Please make this... You show part 1. I see quite clearly that you show part 1, Dio, not part 3. I see what you just did there. Because he had all the ambition and stuff like that. Dio was just like, I'm just going to kill these dudes and then what? I don't know.
because he already has most of what he wants.
He wants the
Similarly
arrow.
to Kira, he is already in the position he desires, and all he really wants is to maintain that position. And while that does make him a lot more passive and reactionary than other villains...
So, you mentioned two people that aren't like Dio, whatever, I call him
Diavolo, either way.
I say Dia.
That's
to
fine.
differentiate them.
Yeah, I like that.
You
Dio and Dia.
Yeah, you pick two people that aren't like Dia, and then you pick Dia and someone that's like Dia. So you have two villains that are active and two villains that are passive.
But then also, if you go to part 6, the priest was both active and passive.
Absolutely.
So what are you talking about? He's so unique.
He is reality.
Oh.
He doesn't need to be proactive
He
because
is
the
reality.
world around him has already bent to his will. Fate has already...
No, they didn't bend to his will, because even the people that were trying to get the money from Bruno, a couple of them were like, we're trying to find Dia to stop him or to kill him because he wiped out our friend.
Yes.
So there were already a bunch of people in his gang trying to oppose him. Not everybody had already bended knee. They fakely bended knee so they could stab him in the balls.
As Araki spends a lot of time just establishing how dangerous, powerful, and nigh on invincible Diavolo is.
Pause.
And
No, he didn't. He did that when he showed up, and then they basically didn't talk about him until he was right in front of them. He didn't spend so much time. He spent an arc, which was the mystery of King Crimson, and then the end, because that was the only times that we saw him. There wasn't a whole...
for example, out of all the villains, he's the one we know and see the least of, his real appearance only being present in a handful of chapters. Additionally, his backstory is kept purposefully confusing and contradictory. All in all, this is
Pause.
all...
What's Kira's backstory? He was a kid, he got a lot of third places, and then he started killing
On
people.
purpose. So he wouldn't stand out.
So what does it matter? What's the priest? He met Dio and he fell in love with him. Why are we talking about backstories when it's such a non-entity? He was born, he killed a bunch of people, and then he became a drug man. Why does that make him interesting?
He essentially skips past all of the hard work and resolve that would usually be necessary to change one's fate.
Pause. What?
I don't understand.
So in those 7 seconds, he can change his fate. What? He's skipping past the hard work and resolve to change your fate. But in seeing the changing of fate, he can move around it and change his fate. He's changing fate by seeing fate and moving.
What do you see resolve as? Because I think he's seeing resolve as if you're willing to hurt yourself for your goal.
Let's just muddle that down to sacrifice.
Okay.
Because you don't have to set your straight. Because again, Bruno, throw the turtle, Narancia, and die. And Narancia like, sure thing, boss. So I don't think. What is his definition of resolve? He probably should have defined that early.
If you only desire the result without putting in the work, you will never reach the truth.
He is putting in work. He's activating King Crimson at a point in time that is most beneficial for him. He has reactionary time such that when Bruno punches him in the face, he stops time, he skips through time and goes, well, that was close, he could have punched me in the face.
Our protagonist embodies its purest form.
Yeah.
Giorno Giovanna, while
Oh
often
my
described
goodness.
as bland or boring, actually does a lot for this story.
Oh.
Oh my.
Oh.
my.
Oh.
Jesus.
Okay. Your thing, boss.
You know why he does a lot for the story? He's like that freaking Looney Tunes cartoon where Bugs is drawing stuff around Daffy.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what Geo is. Geo goes, here's a bullet.
Basically. What can you do when it goes, the bullet turned into a tree, the tree turned back into a bullet, ricocheted off of something and shot somebody in the head? Great. That's smart.
That's what doing a lot for the story is doing. Hey, he's writing out in front of the characters. Why are some of y'all pruning up and getting older quicker?
Narancia, are you okay? You seem to be lying. I've known you for 3 days, and these people have known you for years, but I'm noticing this.
Narasha goes, Gio will figure this out. Not my friends. Gio.
Not the literal zombie who's walking around because of his unbelievable resolve, but this dude. This literal dude.
He has a very clear and motivated goal in mind and pursues it from the
Alright, wait, go ahead and pursues it from the beginning, I'm assuming.
very beginning of the story of his own accord.
Okay.
Rise to the top of the mob and fix the problems of Italy, specifically the drug trade.
Pause.
He wants
Sure. Absolutely. He has a goal from the very beginning. Part 1, he doesn't have one. Part 2, he doesn't have one. They're basically just going through. Giorno! The mission starts with my mom! No, the mission starts with Dio's back! Let's go kill Dio! And then it becomes your mom. And it's just like, okay, they're linked, so let's do this. From the beginning, episode, what, like 2? Okay, he starts looking at the camera going, I have a dream, drugs though. That's fine. Are we saying that an episode or 2, if you're going, oh, it's only rivaled by Johnny, it took a while for him to be going like, oh, I want to learn to spin. He didn't have that going into it. So what do you say? You've already... This dude is just really focusing in on what he wants to notice.
to save and inspire the same way he was saved and inspired himself. Yet his resolve and dream are not naive. He understands...
Pause! As soon as Josuke's granddad died, he went, protect this town.
Yes.
That was his whole mission.
He was like, I can't ignore this.
So we're looking at 5 JoJo's at least? And you're going only Giorno.
From day one, Bruno was the same way, but he had more of a reason for it.
Drug stabbed my dad. Directly. He has old women coming up going, my grandkids on drugs. I thought you were going to be doing something about this. He's got his own little mile area that he needs to protect. Plus the drugs thing stabbing his dad. This dude is just like, there's some random nebulous kids out there who are on drugs and I don't want that. As opposed to seeing someone directly going, I'm being affected. Please help me, Bruno.
Giorno embodies absolute resolve. His goal...
Oh my Jesus! Jolene was so much more resolve heavy.
Absolutely.
And you can't sit there and tell me she's not. Because Gio, his resolve was, okay, maybe I'll stab myself in the chest, but I can fix that.
That's fine. Whatever.
Oh yeah, you guys go through all of that, because I can fix you.
You had that up for Foo Fighters. But once she died, it's like, okay, now what? With the underground fight, where it's just like kids are being thrown into this boy. Uh-oh, what are we going to do to solve this? We can live and kill these kids, or we can die and create a whole bunch of new problems. Or there's another option.
And they said, killing the kids is not the option.
It's not the option. So that's automatically off the table.
So find another way to save ourselves or die. Those were the only 2 options. And dying wasn't an option. So find a way to save yourself.
My goodness.
are clear to him and he's willing to basically do anything to achieve them. But because he's...
Basically all JoJo's are!
How many times did Joseph go, well, I guess I'm about to die here. He bluffed out gods. He's just, either this bluff is gonna work or I'm dead right here and now. He goes, oh, I'm crashing this plane and I'm gonna die. Well, I'm jumping into the volcano and I'm just dead now. What are you talking about? At the end of part 1, Jonathan's thing was, in this order, crash this boat to stop these zombies, save Arena, and die. That was his plan. He was like, I've got 0.2% Hamon left, so I'm gonna get Wang Chung. Arita's gonna be safe. Death.
Jolene goes, you are our hope. I'm gonna hold him off for 3 seconds.
Not even 3 seconds. I'm going to be the smallest pebble on the road for him. Maybe he'll trip over me and be stumbled for 0.5 seconds. Use that 0.5 seconds.
Cause I'm just gonna die now.
Here we go.
My goal right now is to save you so you can find a way. Cause I'm dead.
I am dead. I'm going to die. That's my plan. That's Jonathan's plan. That was Joseph's plan.
I'm going to die. That was the plan. To stop you.
I don't think he's ever had that moment. My throat got ripped out. Replaced. He wasn't like, all right, I'm just going to blind you with my blood and I'm going to bleed out. No. He was like, well, I'm just going to fix it now. Bruno, in the Beach Boy fight, he goes, well, it's time for both of us to just hop off this train and die.
The team continues.
The team continues. You die. Grateful Dead stops, and we only got you to deal with. Come on, get on off this train. Let's crash into this pipe. What are you talking about? Hayato went, he's a bomb. I'ma touch him. Can you fix me? Let's find out. That was a boy. His whole thing, he went, I know how to stop this muff and bites the dust, and it's this box cutter, and it's this throat. Here we go. What are you talking about? I'm gonna save these people I don't know.
His whole thing was, I don't even know these people, but they cannot die.
I don't know these people. I can't give them any hints. I'ma die, and hopefully they can figure this out. Because I'm not leaving any hints or anything. I'm just dying. And this dude already still has this unstoppable stand. So, plan A, die.
A1, die.
Die. What resolve?
A beacon of resolve that inspires and motivates those around him to follow suit.
All the JoJos do this!
Absolutely.
All the JoJos do this!
Speedwagon goes, there's no way to stop this dude. And then he does, and he just goes, what, this dude? He punches Speedwagon and like, he could have killed me, but he didn't. This dude is such a good dude. They spoke maybe a word to each other. Not even ignoring that. This dude is a zombie, a vampire. He can't be stopped. He can't be killed. Oh, we killed him? Word? And then after that, just like, what? We got to do it again. I don't know Hamon. I don't know nothing about what's going on. I'm going to still follow you because I got this sledgehammer. What was he doing there? Nothing. But he just went, I want to see this play out. And that's just part one. We can pause. What happened with Caesar? He gave his final Hamon to Joseph.
Yeah.
He could have gave it to Lisa, his teacher, the person with an abundance of Hamon. But no, he went, I'ma die, give my Hamon to this dude, and give him the ring. What are you talking about? Do we need to keep going with these parts? Man, he's just ignoring all of this.
Only Gio.
The mission wholeheartedly. While many characters in the story often have their own motivations and ideals, it's Giorno that catalyzes them into action. And here, we see an...
That's a bad character. That means every other character is just
just emotionless, no motivation until he goes, have some motivation.
Basically, they're puppets and he's a puppet master. It's just like, you guys aren't doing nothing until here you go. Here's my fingers wagging. Do something. Thank you, Gio. Thank you. Now we can do something.
Hey, solve this boat problem. Yeah, we should solve this boat problem. Why didn't we think of that?
Dude with 197 IQ. Not thinking of nothing.
Nothing. But
Till
this
Gio say something.
But this street trash does. Because the story is just molding around him to make him the biggest, best, smartest dude in the room at all times. He always has a plan. He always has the solution. He's never worried. Hey, why are we getting older? Oh, you know what? We didn't even think about that. We're just big dumb monkeys just like shoot, kill, bang, dead.
Our protagonist Giorno acts in order to upheave the status quo, which then forces Diavolo to react. And obviously, just doing
that's Kira!
That is Kira.
He was on his straight and narrow just killing people. They interrupt that, and then he just goes, I've got to kill these people, and then go back to the straight and narrow. What are you talking about?
Okay, so if Dio would have won, things would have changed. If Kira wins, nothing changes.
Nothing. He doesn't go, now I'm going to go rule the world. No, it's just like, I'm going to kill this lady, I'm going to kill this kid, and I'm just going to go back to what I was doing.
Because he begins the story already being the embodiment of resolve.
No, the embodiment? What? How? In what way does he start the story as the embodiment of resolve?
He is, by all means and purposes, a pretty static character, but that is kind of the point. He is meant...
It's not the point, because he didn't start out that way. If that was always going to be the point, he wouldn't have started out as this animated character and then became a nothing.
Saying that their fight is over since Bucciarati is a good person. While it isn't treated as a huge moment at the time, we find out way later that it was an incredibly impactful thing for Bucciarati. Having both the fundamental...
Josuke. Okuyasu goes, he goes, give me the answers I want. No, I will not. Fine then. I'm just gonna heal you and walk away. You are a threat. I'm gonna heal you because this isn't your fault that you're holed up and you might die, but I'm going to heal you. I don't know if you're a good or a bad person, but you're a person. A threat. With an almost unstoppable stand.
If only he wasn't
and
an
I'm
idiot.
going to turn my back to you and save my friend. Thank you for not giving me information. Please don't try to kill me. Goodbye. One example of one other character doing a better thing.
Giorno is defined by a duality between brilliant righteousness and devious malice and cruelty. He is, in a very literal sense, half Jonathan and half Dio. While
oh my goodness. What does he mean by cruelty? Because if you look at all the villains, most of the villains in part 5, they're all murdered. So it's not a trait just to him. Naranja just straight kills both members of the tongue part. He kills Littlefoot. The plan is to kill you. And Popo's just like, you a piece of Popo, so I'm gonna kill you. That's all.
It was literally just you're a piece of shit.
All of them kill people.
How many villains lived?
Why are just attributing this just to Giorno? Freaking Josuke again! He trapped a man in a book forever, and he trapped a man in a rock forever. For killing his grandpa and just for pissing him off.
continuously calculating what to do and say to put himself into the most advantageous position possible. These
Joseph? Constantly
lying.
And to put himself in the best position? Giorno bluffed a man whose entire thing is card games. He bluffed the out of him, which is just lying.
But only Giorno.
He calculated the out of that fight.
And he goes, whoa, my hand was glad I didn't look at that. That was such an amazing moment.
Hope that is immediately complicated by the appearance of Trish Una, the boss's daughter. This presents a conundrum for Bruno and Giorno. The straightest path to the boss would be to use Trish as a bargaining chip. Yet, because they are both smart and righteous, they decide against it and instead protect her from the hitman team, La Squadra d'Esecuzione.
No, that was their mission.
Exactly. They're like, we're not going against the boss just yet. We don't know anything about him. Let's go up there, figure him out, then kill him. That's not what happened.
That's not what happened. The only way they were going to get close to the boss was delivering this girl. Your mission is to protect her and get her here at this time.
Okay, let's do that. We're so cunning.
We're so passionate and
let's do exactly what we're told.
La Squadra as a whole actually ends up fulfilling a third. They force our gang to steal their resolve.
Oh. Are you telling me that their resolve wasn't stealed before? It was... didn't you say that Giorno did steal their resolves? What? I don't think their resolve was stealed until Bruno went, we're revolting. We're out of here.
Absolutely. Because they were still like, I don't know. And then they went, yes.
Yes. Now we're on this path, as opposed to our mission is to just take this chick up to this place.
There were 2 people with stealed resolves. The rest of the group, they were just following orders.
Additionally, on more than one occasion, the catalyst for that hardening is not just La Squadra, but also Giorno. Giorno inspires each and every member of his team except Bruno, who is already smitten, and Narancia, which will be important in a bit. He forces Abbacchio to begrudgingly accept him as a competent member of the team, and impresses Fugo with his tenacity, all in the man in the mirror fight. He also ends up showing me...
That's why that fight sucks!
Because the camera has to constantly go 3 inches to the right to Giorno's face going, hey y'all, do this. And you're like, we should have done this. Hey, we should probably go find Fugo. Fugo, the mission.
In his only solo fight, his enemy, Babyface, is in awe at Giorno's rapid improvement and quick thinking and adaptation, and, inspired by it, grows and evolves himself to properly rival him. It's also...
Pause. He went, oh, you're getting better? Well, I'm better now. How thematic. How great.
Oh, you?
I'm in awe.
Me too! Me too! Me as well!
While his resolve to be just is certainly an important and good quality, this time it bites him in the ass. Instead of considering any alternatives, he rushes in to pursue the boss after he harms Trish.
What was the other alternative?
Exactly, because if he goes out and goes, everybody, let's rush this dude. He goes back and Trish is dead. See, that's his mindset right there.
But that's all Gio and Part 5 fans' mindset. Giorno is the actual leader, despite the fact that Bruno is absolutely the leader.
He saved all of his crew. He's been leading them for presumably years. But now all of a sudden, this dude with no leadership quality comes in and just goes, he's a better leader. Oh, look at Bruno, showing traits of a leader even better than Giorno sometimes. How could you say that?
Fugo is still plagued by his anger issues, but more crucially, he is unable to trust and believe in himself. He hates his stand, Purple Haze, and thus despises his very being. Out of the entire crew, he is the only one who doesn't accept neither himself nor his stand, and consequentially, his resolve and conviction suffers. He's unable to put belief and resolve above logic, and so makes the logical choice, not to oppose the boss. He is the weakest link of the team.
Sure, he's the weakest link because he himself, he doesn't act to improve. Giorno improved his entire stand in one fight. 5 minutes. Are you telling me that this dude can't go out in the forest for 10 minutes a day and just goes, I'm going to try to control this? Like he basically did in Purple Haze Feedback, where he improved his stand in like 5 minutes? He doesn't improve because he ain't working for it. So he sucks because he sucks. And now we're supposed to feel for this dude for not working, for not trying? Poor him, no! Stay back there, you punk!
And, more crucially, he never gets an inspiring moment with Giorno.
Oh my
Why does he need it?
Why does Giorno need to inspire these pieces of shit?
Why does he need to inspire him? That's
I have never heard no shit like this. These people can't do nothing unless they inspired by the main guy.
Unless Giorno goes, you can do it. And then he go, you know what, I can.
Clash and Talking Heads is probably my least favorite part of Vento Aureo.
Oh, piss off!
Bro,
Clash and Talking Heads was great!
I love that fight.
What? Babyface!
I was just about to say, how is you know why? Because it involved Gio.
Oh my goodness.
Babyface was terrible. It was a fight of two people that can do anything, doing anything.
Man in the Mirror?
Man in the Mirror was legitimately terrible, and I don't see how that could not be bottom two, only beaten by Babyface.
The boat dude that I don't even remember his stand.
It's him demonstrating that the hesitation he showed at the betrayal has been completely washed away by his resolve. All his issues and shortcomings have flown away.
Nobody hesitated in their fights. That's not where the hesitation comes from. When they fight, they have their resolve to win the fight.
No, but it only matters in this moment, you see. We're only looking at this moment and not Bruno going, I'm gonna jump off this train with you.
He loses both of his arms in his initial clash with Notorious B.I.G., incapacitating him and, more devastatingly, disabling his stand permanently.
Pause. He had a plan to make his hand heal already. Plus, Bruno went transferred over here and he went, no, it's no time. When there was plenty of time. When there was plenty of options. He just did that just to do it. Just to be the hero. Just for this moment to happen. This is such a weak part because these things need to happen in order for this to happen.
Risotto Nero is mostly a background character throughout Golden Wind. However, once the gang reaches
Diavolo's a background
he
character!
takes on a very crucial role.
Throughout.
Sacrifice is the one ingredient Bucciarati's gang has so far lacked, and because
Why?
You know what? They don't need to sacrifice because Giorno can just heal them.
They try to sacrifice.
He cut out his tongue. If he wasn't healed, he would have just been tongue out forever. Mista riddled himself with bullets just to go, hopefully one bullet hits you. What are you talking about? He's ignoring stuff to make his point. And it's pissing me off.
all of his belief is external, he sees no value and finds no resolve from himself as a person. Thus, he is the...
Where are you getting this from?
I was just about to ask that. I was racking my brain like, what's the evidence for this? Because he was like, yep, I'm just going to cut off my hand and then float it on over to Giorno. And then you kill me. What? I don't understand. That was a sacrifice. Whatever.
His very soul instinctively does the right, resolute thing.
Pause. How do you know it's instinctively? What evidence are you showing for that? In Caesar's last moment, he went, I'm going to die, but I'm going to complete my mission. What do you... Resolve, you're only applying this when it matters. And you're bringing everybody else down in order to just prop this stuff up.
Diavolo does the immediately rewarding thing, killing Abacchio, but because he rushes and skips to this result, he ends up leading the gang to the truth through Abacchio's sacrifice.
How did he skip? And what was the non-shortcut way to do that?
I have no clue.
In a way,
he saw a problem. This dude will literally find my face, kill. Now, if he had gone, I'm going to pick them off one by one, that'd be another thing. But he just went, I'm going to kill this dude who's the biggest threat to me right now. And then I'm going to figure out a way to kill everybody else. You know what? I'm not even going to do it. I'm just going to call in Green Day. And he'll do it.
By focusing on a result, and only on that result, you begin looking for shortcuts. And those shortcuts might seem that they lead you to that desired result, but in reality, all they do is make you lose sight of the truth. The truth...
Pause. I want to become a doctor. I'm going to become a doctor. What way do you become a doctor? You go to school, you learn how to become a doctor. Wait, is there a shortcut to you? Like, yep, here's an idea. Just become a back alley doctor? No. There's one way to get the result that you need. What are you talking about? I want to go to the store. You go to the store.
But no, there could be many results for a doctor. You could just fake it, I'm sure.
No, you can't.
Some type of documentation.
No, you can't.
Faking transcript to get into school. You could pay somebody to go to the store for you.
But you still get the result. You got your chips.
Yeah, but it's a shortcut because you didn't go.
So what? I'm eating chips. Are you telling me that if Giorno couldn't press a button day one and be like, I'm the boss, he wouldn't?
Oh, yeah, he definitely would.
He would.
If there was a secret, this is the boss button, they would have went, they would have been mashing that.
If Popo went, you look like the boss, you're like, well, I am the boss. But, oh, okay. Oh, the boss just died of a heart attack. There's no way to check this. So I guess you are. No more drugs now. No more drugs, the boss says. The end. What are you talking about?
It doesn't feel like exposition and flows naturally into the world building.
No. Because they literally stopped the story to do this.
Like you said, it has nothing to do with Diavolo, the main crux of the story.
And it's literally 2 panels before he dies.
So we're learning all about this dude and his resolve and hope and light and all this other happy horse. And then he dies. And then we don't talk or think about him again.
Abacchio's death hits the gang hard. Giorno does his signature tremble. Narancia.
Signature tremble!
This is sad face anime tremble.
This dude, he so much on Giorno's penis. And he's just like, he's got a signature tremble. What are you talking about, dude?
Boy.
Are you telling me that they all weren't trembling? What are you talking about?
Those balls must
This
be
dude
tasty.
loves Giorno so much. I wish I could love anything as much as he loves Giorno. Because this man could do no wrong. He's the shining example and the shining light for everybody and everything at all points. Has he mentioned a flaw?
It is clear that, in this moment, Giorno truly channels Dio, but sublimates those negative
No, he
cruel
doesn't.
tendencies.
No, he doesn't channel Dio. What he does is, in his own sense of justice, kill this guy in the only way he knew how. Because he knew if he had let him go or not did that beetle thing, he would have turned around and killed him.
So it wasn't a whole... He's making it way more grandeur than it actually was.
Yeah.
He was buying time.
He was literally buying time. That was it. And you know what? If he would have turned around and been like, okay, the fight's over. I'm leaving. I'm living. He may not have done the Beetle thing. If he would have still did the Beetle thing, okay, that's a Dio thing. Just like, nope, I don't care that you're saying you're reformed or whatever. You're dead. But he went, okay, you just proven, and the Beetle kills you.
He simply moves forward with the life energy Giorno gave him.
No. And his, say it with me, resolve.
No, it's only the life energy that causes him to go forward. Give that all to Giorno.
Talking about the embody, he even said in the previous part we did that it was in part because of Giorno that he came back. Bruno is literally the embodiment of resolve. He is only living because of his resolvingness, this doo-doo.
But he just doesn't see that. He just goes, Giorno. It's so frustrating.
In his fight with Secco, Bruno goes as far as to utilize his status as a living corpse to his advantage, shattering his own eardrums to win. It is also here that the mysterious help they received is revealed to have come
One
from...
sentence.
Yep.
Move on.
What about all that cunning of Gio from a few parts ago?
He talked about Gio for like 5 minutes. And this man just like, yeah, whatever. I'm cool. I'm already a corpse, so let's just do this. That's smart. That's good.
That's resolve.
And he
that sacrifice.
Literally one sentence.
Slimmed down in a wheelchair, missing half his limbs and blind in one eye.
Pause. That wasn't the effect of aging. That's the effect of him getting attacked. And also, everyone was slimmed down.
Yeah.
That's not an effect
That's
of aging.
a Rocky's.
That was his changing style.
Yeah. Boy, go read those first two non-color. Jesus Christ, the biceps on those people. Unbelievable.
Mozart's Requiem has been the subject of many legends and rumors due to two things. It is still not known who commissioned him to write it, and Mozart died before he could finish it, leaving the Requiem incomplete. This reference is reflected in every aspect of Chariot Requiem.
Pause.
It's
So we have to know all of that in order for this to be good? We have to think about all that in order to be like, yeah, no, I get it now. A 13-year-old boy just going, I like anime, I like JoJo, has to research Mozart and D minor and all this other bullshit in order for this to be good? Dude, do you hear yourself?
Yeah, but it's not for the kids. This is for the...
Man,
the more...
I don't give a shit about that.
I don't either.
You forcing this in order to make it good, not just going, these things line up in a way that is consistent through the narrative or the themes or whatever. No, you gotta go all the way back to 1842. Come on.
Death is, after all, the ultimate fate of all living things.
Pause.
And this...
But this is all assuming that was death. And if it's not, it's a crock of bullshit. If it's not, it's just a dude in a hat.
It could have literally been the doctor or a butler.
And you looking all into this when the answer could and very well and is a dude in a hat.
Chariot Requiem isn't a fully matured Requiem stand because its user, Polnareff, lacks the mental and physical strength to control it and harness its potential. This makes...
Is Giorno controlling Gold Experience Requiem? When Gold Experience Requiem literally says he don't know what's going on. When Giorno, once Diavolo is dead, just goes, yeah, I get the feeling he ain't giving back up. Is he controlling it?
They make the mistake of assuming that Diavolo is hiding in Bucciarati's body, as they yet don't know about Doppio. They, in a way, attempt to skip to the end of the arc without realizing that they don't actually know enough. And
Pause. No, it stands to reason. Giorno and Arancha switch bodies. Trish and Mista switch bodies. Bruno is in the body of the boss, so where is the boss? Oh no, we're just skipping ahead. We're thinking too heavy into this. When he literally was, if not for the dumb double psychology thing. It wasn't skipping ahead. It stands to reason 100%.
There were no shortcuts taken there.
None.
It's a logical conclusion.
There's nobody else in the arena but Bruno, from what they can see.
Yeah.
There's nobody close enough that it's just like, okay, it looks like it's switching based upon distance, blah, blah, blah.
But nonetheless, they have to push on. Thanks to Paul...
We're just skipping over the way he was killed.
No, absolutely.
Dude, what happened
What happened there? We know that King Crimson cannot affect people in the skip time. So, you could be like, oh, he picked them up and put them in the spikes when it was erased and then the spikes came back. So, it got in his... No, he cannot affect them.
So, what
and
happened?
also, he has an absurdly short range. What happened there?
How did that death even
How did that happen?
Or was it just to give Gio his body back? Absolutely.
Literally, what happened there? I don't know, and that's why I say that's the single worst moment in all of JoJo. There's nothing worse than that, because there was no reason. His death served no purpose. Think of every death in JoJo of any like secondary character, not like your rank and file dude that just died. No, secondary characters
like that split
or
arrow
better.
guy.
Exactly. And they all had a purpose. Nanacha had literally no purpose, and they didn't say his name again until the end. There was no purpose for that, and it made no sense, and it was just to give Giorno his body back. That's all it was, because Narancia doing all that stuff, making all them plans, stabbing himself, whatever, isn't as impactful as the dude on the cover.
Among all the atrocities Diavolo has committed, the murder of a scared child forced into a solitary death is what truly sets Giorno's resolve for this final confrontation.
He is not a scared child, he's an assassin! The first time that we see him, he threatens to stab Fugo, his friend! He is an assassin, a cold-blooded assassin! What are you talking about, a scared child? He wasn't like, oh, I'm so scared of Diavolo. He's like, no, let's get this done so I can go to school. What? Dude, you disrespecting Narancia like that. A scared child. Narancia, throw the turtle. You got it, boss. Here comes my death. He did that without hesitation. And Trish goes, why did you do that? Like, what? He told me to. It's what I am. Don't disrespect him like just a scared child. Come on, there's more to him than that. Dude, come on.
So much more.
My goodness, he kills a scared child. Hey, why did he kill Narancia? Not because he was a scared child, because he was a threat to him.
Again, foregoing any
pause. You didn't even introduce the concept of soul orb. You just said it. You know how stupid that is? The soul orb hard out of nowhere?
Yeah, that was terrible.
And you're just ignoring it because it doesn't fit your narrative.
It's not even that it doesn't fit his narrative. It's one of those, like when he said it was perfect for him. It's one of those small things that he just overlooks.
And doesn't even...
But this is terrible.
Doesn't even allow other people to go, here's why it's stupid, because this, and allow other people to go, yeah, I guess it kind of was. He just goes, nope, it's a soul orb, and he just went straight to attacking it, and that's why he lost.
Using the resolve she had built up during her time with the gang. As the arrow changes...
She didn't build up resolve.
Why can't characters just do something without it being fate or resolve? Why can't they just have an action? Without it being some underlying concept. Why can't they just go, this man bad, I'm in a position to stop him, so I will. If I don't stop him right now with my power to stop him, he will kill everybody. But I'm only doing this because of my resolve, because of all the stuff that I saw Giorno and them do. That's the only reason I'm doing this, by the way.
Not that her father's a piece of that tried to kill her. Not all this.
Not that he actively killed somebody, her friend, not 5 minutes ago. No, resolve fate concepts.
Themes.
Hands again, Bruno musters his resolve.
Oh, shut up! Shut up!
Please. Please. I'm so sick of it. You didn't mention him mustering his resolve when it was just like, shoot my body, but then you'll die. Shut up and shoot it. What happened there? Oh, it doesn't matter because it's thematically relevant, blah, 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 whatever.
And the shining resolve with...
Stop saying shining! Stop saying beacon! Stop saying resolve!
Characters cannot just act. It has... Dude, I have never thought about any kind of resolve or anything like that in One Piece. I've never thought about it in any part before or after.
But you know what? If I go back in One Piece, I can go, oh, the resolve, oh, the resolve, oh, the resolve, oh, the resolve. The resolve of the village in Kokayashi Village, where Nami's from, to just be like, if you want to run away and kill us all, that's fine. We're going to live our lives and just be this way. And the second she got screwed over, they went, we're all dying together.
Go time.
Bruh, that's resolve, but I never went, wow, the resolve. I just went, this is great.
You know why? Because there weren't a minimum of 3 speeches turning to the camera and going resolve. Like in this part. When you have to speak out your themes and stuff like that, it's not as effective.
Absolutely. There's no subtext, like, there's no point of subtext if someone is literally saying it. You said this one. It's like Winter Soldier walking on and going, I'm the villain, and then walking away. You show that he's the villain. You don't just go, I'm the bad person.
So all of them just going to resolve. There's nothing to think about there other than, yes, resolve. You can't think about fate or death or anything like that. You're saying the themes outright, and you're just handcuffing your audience to this one thing. And if they don't see it or care about it, then it's going to lessen their experience. But in order for it to be good, you have to think about these things. What if I don't care? What then?
What if I just want to see a good JoJo's part? Why don't you tell a good narrative within your story without going, this is the narrative?
Tell the narrative, but also have the resolve and the fate. This is all about resolve and fate. And I don't care. So it's just like, show me good characters, good fights, good moments, good story. Have your little subtext. But don't make it 100% about it, because I'm not gonna care and I don't care.
Constantly babbles on about how he is chosen by fate. He is a false champ.
He is! You said yourself, whatever he sees happens. So, in those 7 seconds, he's the king of everything. He can erase it. Somebody shoots a bullet at him, it passes right through him because he saw it.
Boy, fate love that, man.
He's literally the master of fate. Unless bush happens.
Literal bush.
Literal bush.
And doesn't take this mockery lightly.
Fate doesn't take the mockery. What are you talking? You know what? So why is fate fine with all these people opposing it? What about that mockery?
What about that?
What about all that resolve that's just changing everything?
That's changing fate.
Oh, it's cool with that mockery. It's cool with that mockery.
But when he sees it and goes, fate is with me, that's when fate goes, no.
That's you're taking my name
Them
in vain.
fighting against me is fine.
But you can't agree with fate coming.
But you can't agree with fate, even though you've been agreeing with fate your whole life ever since you got your stand.
And I've been cool with it.
And I've been cool with it until this one moment. Hey, how about this? How about I sprinkle some bush all over this story, huh? How about this? Golden Experience Requiem. The exact opposite of your stand. You dead forever. You didn't deserve this, but you got it. Fate. What?
One of the most powerful fictional beings in all of manga.
Pause. How is that satisfying? What about the people who just wanted to see a knockdown, drag-out fight?
Bruh.
Like there has been in each part before this. When this dude punches him once and he's just like, well, he's dead forever. How is that satisfying?
Perpetual death.
To Joe Q public who wants to see these people fight.
But you know what? It was satisfying. Because people love it.
Yes, they do, but I don't understand when it's just this literal bullshit, and it's just, I just win. Now, when this happened, it cracks, Golden Experience Requiem comes out, they monologue for a bit, the episode ends. 2 weeks later, that's when the 1 hour special was. Mm-hmm. It was like 7 minutes. And then Diavolo's dead, sleeping slaves. So you waited 2 weeks to see what this dude can do. Well, he directly opposes his power, does anything, he wins. And now there's this other story about fate and resolve and wrapping it all together. What if you ain't want to see that? What if you saw that, a 1 hour special with a new stand and Diavolo and everybody, they're all gonna fight? Yo, get in there. 7 minutes, one punch, dead forever. Okay. Sleeping slaves. You got treated with sleeping slaves. That was your reward for these 34 episodes.
You expected epic, you got sleeping slaves.
Man, imagine if that happened with Kira. He gets stabbed by the stand arrow, and then it's just 1 week later, punch. Oh, I get that wasn't a problem.
Or the kid, oh, you're Kira? I never told him. And then Josuke was just like, wham!
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I wrote it down, and that's a loophole. And here he is, and punch.
End episode series part.
And then it's there's not even anything comparable that I can think of that could be a sleeping slaves.
There was no battle of brains. There was no battle.
Nothing.
Bro, because every part before this and after it's just like, we have to think around this bush. But there's no thinking around it. He sat there, got punched, cracked, and punched him back and went, the end.
He's dead now. And that's so unsatisfying. It's the worst.
He is the one and only character to ever fully evolve his stand into a complete Requiem. Not a half-named Berserk stand like CHARIOT Requiem, but instead a fully controlled...
Pause. Why are you acting like this is such a brilliant, amazing thing? There's been 3 Requiems! And there's no reason why Killer Queen wasn't a full Requiem, other than, hey, it fits for this part. He just hadn't thought about the Requiem thing. But he got stabbed and it evolved. But I guess his resolve wasn't good enough.
Fate didn't love him enough.
Fate, whatever.
Its eyes change. Throughout part 5...
Silver Chariot Requiem didn't have a face. He was all black. His eyes change. Oh, if you think about it, going back to Paparazzo back in the 1400s,
irises are...
Oh.
Many stands either have concealed eyes, weird, blind bug eyes, or eyes clouded by mania and insanity. But here, Gold Experience sheds its clouded vision and its
Star Platinum, the world, Crazy Diamond. No.
What are you talking
What
about?
mini stands? You're picking and choosing, dude.
Let's just erase these
Let's just
stands
get
over
rid
here.
of all of them. Silver Chariot has a mask over him, and you can still see his eyes. Dude, you showed stands that are just like, this fits my narrative, and nothing else. Don't piss off with this. This is very disingenuous. You legit are just trying to make your point, which is ignoring stuff.
See, I wouldn't mind if you were making your point if you said yes, blah, 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 blah. But you are completely ignoring or just not talking about
No
stuff.
stands. Dude, what about not Gold Experience Requiem, Spice Girl. Eyes open, eyes there.
Okay, you say most stands, but what does it matter?
What does it matter?
eyes
Star Platinum's his whole thing. Strength, speed, amazing eyesight.
wide open, finally privy to all sights of fate.
See,
Oh my Jesus!
That's why it matters, because it fits his bush.
What are you talking about? His eyes are open to fate. Shut up!
Shut up, man.
Are you serious? Dude, it's just a design!
You know what I'm saying? Look at his eyes. This is why people don't understand the Requiem goes slowly. His eyes. That's why. See? Don't you see how stupid you people were? Don't you feel dumb now? Look at his eyes. No other stands have eyes. What about these stands that have eyes? Fate.
His absolute zero ability gives him the power to be invincible, and it puts them on the top of the totem pole of stand users. Just like Dio.
Boy, I can't wait for Luffy to get his I'm invincible power.
Ooh, that's gonna be
Boy,
great.
isn't that gonna be so great? Isn't that gonna be so satisfying when he just walks up to Kaido and one-shots him? Big Mom, Kaido, Blackbeard, all just one-shot because of his invincibility power. Because of his freedom power. Let's tie this back into the theme. He gets the power of freedom. He punches them and he frees their soul from their body. Isn't that so narratively satisfying?
And
That's
fits
so
what
great.
I want it to fit.
Boy, how are they gonna beat Blackbeard? He's got these 2 powers. He's got Akainu with him. He's got this whole island. He's got his crew full of devil fruit wielding
Some of the
strong
strongest
people from the level 5 of Impel down. Well, let's just punch him once with freedom. And then he loses. I'm so happy that happened. I'm satisfied.
Best part.
Best part. That's great. Boy, 20 years building up to this sure was worth it.
There is a literary work by Percy Bysshe Shelley that comes...
Oh, it's so hot here. I can't breathe. I can't. I don't need to go back to 300 years ago to justify why I like the things I like. Why the things that I think are good are good. I don't need to do that.
You know what happens when Oda researches something and brings it into his manga? He explains it in that manga. He goes, this is the archipelago, and here's the stuff,
Exactly.
and here's how the bubbles work, and all this stuff.
Or he just goes, Giorno was a pirate. Look her up if you wanna.
But you know what? I got my jewelry, Bonnie. I know Blackbeard was a pirate.
I don't know anything about him. If I looked it up, I don't think I would like or dislike Blackbeard anymore.
The poem is about the fluctuating fragility of power and how nothing and no one is eternal, which is a pretty good analogy for Diavolo and his fate.
And Dio?
And again, who cares? If I go, when you think about it, this part relates to the 1994 movie All Dogs Go to Heaven as such. And it's like, okay, what does it matter? You're just bringing this in. It's not like there's a character named Ozymandias that you can directly reference. You just go, oh, this poem. It relates to him because he's forgotten. See y'all next time. Like and subscribe.
That it's an epilogue that completely recontextualizes the entire story, causes the fate of death to spread to two other members of the gang, Narancia and Abacchio.
Why?
Literally.
Why? Just because. Just fate.
There was, yeah, I don't.
It's literally no reason why. It's just fate.
So again, all that resolve and feeling and emotion is worthless because this was always gonna happen. It was Narancia was always going to die.
Always.
So him going with Bruno and all of them and stealing his resolve is worthless. Cause you were supposed to do this.
Hey, in a week's time, I'm gonna put $1 million into your bank account. Hey guys, let's go rob that bank over there for $1 million. Like, no, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get $1 million either way.
Thanks to Sleeping Slaves, we finally understand how fate works.
What?
We finally understand how fate works. Well, fate is unchangeable, it's inevitable. But now, once it's contextualized, that's when we understand how it works. Not the fact that Dia explained it several times. You're gonna shoot me, and then you just didn't shoot me because fate. You weren't fated to shoot me. I see what's gonna happen, and it always happens unless I intervene.
And now, we learn that completely overcoming fate is simply not possible, but that's the whole point. Only the most...
Is this not what I just said? Is this not what I just...
He's saying it's not... This is basically going, yeah, that movie was bad. It's supposed to be bad. Yeah, that character's bad. It's supposed to be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't change fate, but you're not supposed to be able to change fate unless you can change fate like Giorno did.
Except
what is he saying? What is he saying?
In the hope that your resolve and sacrifice will make even the tiniest positive change in the future.
Pause. What did Narancia change? Nothing. He died and he gave Giorno his body back. He didn't steal anybody's resolve or anything. They were always going to go after Requiem and Dia.
If fate is unchangeable, there's no positive or negatives to fate because it's all preordained.
It's all. So the fact that they're just like, if Abacchio was just like, I know I'm going to die right here. Because he goes, if Dia goes, if you show my face, I'm going to kill you. And then that happens. That's something else. But he didn't know he was going to die right there. He thought he was protected and safe. So that's not a sacrifice. He was just sitting there and then he died. How is that a sacrifice?
What did Narancia sacrifice?
What? What resolve did Narancia have when he died off screen? What resolve did Abacchio have? He did his job and showed them their face. Okay. That was it. But it doesn't matter because fate, and I'm just gonna ignore the things that do not support my views.
Bruno was always destined to die, as were Narancia and Abacchio after Rolling Stones was stopped. But they...
Pause. Why those two? Is there a reason or is that just random?
Random fate.
That's satisfying.
Alongside
if
the
it was just like the two people that you're thinking about right now are also going to die. And he goes, oh crap, I owe Nanacha $6. Nanacha's in there. But no, it's just literally random.
And if Bruno dies, they lose.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if the stone hit Bruno, none of this happens. And Dia wins.
Easily.
So, thank you?
Because otherwise, how are they going to move up in the ranks, get the mission to take Trish over there? There's no way that they could.
Yep, nobody else knew about the money but Bruno.
And even if they did, his zipper, when he dies, it just completely dissipates. So it just dissipates, and a bunch of money comes out of a toilet. That's just random money for nobody.
Plus, Gio never meets Bruno, so he doesn't really do anything with the gang. So, thank you for changing Impossible Fate. ...
Or was it the fate that he would change the fate?
This is why Fate is trash.
That's why it's such garbage.
Just like time travel. It's so garbage.
Their actions are allowed to translate into reality. You may not...
What? Their actions are allowed to change into reality?
What does he mean? What does he mean?
He is trying so hard to sound deep. But this is pure bush. What are you talking about?
I think this is for the people who either like they're 100% in, or they're just like they're playing a game and listening to me every now and again, and just sort of yeah, whatever, change fate ordained, and they're not getting the fate is impossible to change, except for Giorno has to hand the fate to change it because he has to resolve to change it, but it's still unchanging, and that's the point.
be able to completely twist or change fate immediately, but by way of continuous effort, it can be influenced and directed into a better fated future.
No, it wasn't, because all three still died.
Yes, quite brutally, as a matter of fact.
So what happened? I'm sure they still did resolve, and they moved forward, and they did all the actions that became reality, and they all fated to die, still died.
And they all still died.
So what happened?
I guess they just didn't believe enough, or fate was just not in their favor enough, or...
Oh, why not? They had the resolve and the grit and all the stuff that fate favors.
Maybe maybe they had their stored up resolve points, and that equaled another hour. Every resolve point that you get, I'll give you another hour of life. Cash them boys in.
Like an RPG. Woo!
Instead, using his resolve to push himself forward despite the pain they all knew was likely waiting for them.
But they all did that.
But they all did that.
So why this
except for Fugo,
who ran like a puss.
Like a punk bitch.
Hey, you know what? Fate ain't punish him.
No! It didn't! He didn't have the resolve! What's his punishment? Oh, he evolved his stand into a nigh unbeatable stand in the future. And he's welcomed back into the game with open arms. When he ran.
His resolve influencing each member so that they themselves can go on to influence reality.
See, here, oh Jesus Christ, with this reality bush. No other person needed the JoJo to go, I'm gonna steal my resolve now. They're their own people with their own goals, doing their own thing.
Koichi grew completely independently of Josuke. That was his own. You actively saw growth. Josuke wasn't involved in any of it.
Not a bit.
But you need Giorno to directly go, y'all need to be better. And them just going, you know what? I didn't even think of that. Bruno, why didn't you tell me I needed to be better?
I guess I trust Giorno more now.
Eventually led him closer to the truth than anyone else.
What is this truth you keep talking about? The truth of what?
We humans are...
Oh.
can sometimes indeed feel like we are sleeping slaves, chained to a destiny we simply cannot foresee or change, a fate out of our control.
If destiny cannot be seen, it can't be changed because it's destiny. It's always going to come. So even if you think you're changing your destiny, you are always destined to do the thing that you changed. That's what destiny is. That's what fate is. There's no changing it. So this whole changing for the positive to morph their actions into reality, it was predetermined to be this way.
If they saw Narancia, Abacchio, Bruno, and Mista in the Sleeping Slaves, and then Mista didn't die, then there would be something to say about this. But no, it just happened like it was supposed to.
Even in this vast, cruel universe, make a difference, ever so slight.
You didn't make a difference because fate.
What difference did Narancia make?
Fate accounts for the difference. So there is no difference, so it's meaningless.
We can imprint on reality and leave a meaningful mark on the world that maybe, just maybe...
Pause. It doesn't matter if you're seeking truth or seeking out resolve or whatever. I helped the lady with her freaking stroller off the bus the other day. I feel like I made a difference in her day. I ain't gotta change the world.
If I won the lottery tomorrow and opened a charity, I left my imprint. No matter what.
And you didn't do anything?
And I didn't do anything but play a bunch of random numbers.
It's just like getting stabbed with the arrow. He didn't do anything to earn that. He just got it. The arrow was flying through the air and somebody just went, all right, mister, stab yourself with the arrow. He could have easily just been that.
It, like every story, has its shortcomings. But when compared to the achievements of its storyteller...
You have not mentioned one. I can't imagine doing an overall One Piece review and not going, New Fishman Island wasn't good.
I didn't enjoy it, boy.
Dude, doing a whole thing and just not mentioning Jinbei when I hate Jinbei? Even little minor things, they're just like, all the women look the same. I'm not gonna mention that. You've not mentioned a single flaw. You've gone, Clash and Talking Heads is one of my least favorite moments in all of this part. Why? You didn't give a reason.
And then you went, this is amazing. He went, this is great. He lifted all these positives, and it's like, why is it one of your least favorite parts?
What?
I am more than willing to overlook them. To me, Golden Wind represents both a lamentation of humanity's shackles.
Oh, what? You see, that he has to be thinking about this all throughout. He's just watching going, how are they shackled and how are they going to be unveiled from this? Oh, man in the mirror. He was unshackled from his hand and now he's fighting against fate. That's his thought process while watching this stuff. Not going, wow, that's kind of stupid. Going, no, it makes sense thematically with fate.
And yet a celebration of the glorious human spirit capable of breaking those exact chains.
How can you break the chains if they all still died? Nothing changed!
Nothing mattered.
We can all wake up and seize our lives as long as we face it head on.
But you know what? If that's what we're fated to do, that's what we're gonna do! Because that's what fate is! If you believe in fate and destiny, you do not believe in struggle!
You don't believe in changing it.
You don't believe in meaning! Because it's meaningless if you believe that you're fated to do everything you're gonna do. Legit! So yes, this part was meaningless! Yes, your video was meaningless!
No.
That this message, along with everything else, is communicated.
What's everything else?
Truth. Truth.
And executed masterfully.
It wasn't. Hope! Shut up! It wasn't executed masterfully.
It was 0% masterful.
Cause if you did it masterfully, you wouldn't have to turn to the camera and go fate! You wouldn't have to turn to the camera and go, this is my resolve! That's not what a master does!
At all. I would say that I would love to debate this dude, but we'd be debating two different points. We'd be character, story, progression, and he'd just be like, but fate though. It'd be like debating a Christian. It's like, well, it's in this book, so it is.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing I can say against that. When I'm going, well, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This fight was bad because all Giorno did was just like, well, I'm gonna pop my throat back in. And he going, you changed, I'm gonna change you. And he got bit. He go, no, but the fate. It was all about the fate and the resolve in that fight that you didn't. And it's just like, okay, dude.